Absolutely, yeah. I got I was very interested in Eastern studies as a child. I think I could probably attribute to that to probably being exposed to Hare Krishna books as a young child. That was around me. One of the first books I remember getting was the Bhagavad Gita from Ishkan, or the Prabhupada Hare Krishna movement,
Hmm.
and I was fascinated with that, fascinated with the images, with the words, and so that was probably some type of karmic connection I had as a youth, and that was where that kind of set me on my path for life. That was around, I guess I was around 11 or 12 years old, but I also grew up with a deep love for martial arts and kung fu and Taoism, so it was kind of already there.
Okay, so you were practicing kung fu then before you started getting into Hinduism?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Oh, so what sort of martial arts were you into, and how young did you get started on that?
I was obsessed with Bruce Lee and Wing Chun and Kung Fu
Oh
since
yeah,
since I was old enough to read a book, and so that was something that I was since I was like 8 or 9 years old, and luckily my parents were incredibly supportive of that. And that's something I've continued on into this day. And I love all styles of martial arts. Chinese Kung Fu and Wing Chun and Praying Mantis are probably my favorites, but I'm a huge fan of boxing and I love MMA. And
yeah.
so I love all those different styles. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, I mean, I don't know, the martial arts, particularly starting at a young age. I mean, I guess to an end, to a lesser extent, any real physical activity. Um, they just ingrain with you the sense of discipline and self-worth that you really can't get doing anything else than challenging yourself in I mean martial arts just in general challenges you mentally, spiritually, and physically. So I mean it really just tests you on every level and kind of prepares you for I guess the intense focus that would be needed to kind of go towards more that spiritual path that you went on.
I 100% agree. I attribute most of my ingrained devotion and stamina and focus to being trained in martial arts at a young age and kind of being steeped in that environment. Absolutely.
So I guess just to get more technical, then what were some of the I guess specific meditations that really helped you concentrate your focus and kind of get into this mindset that I mean failure, giving up, it just isn't an option because I mean folks particularly with a martial arts background like they have a will of steel. Some of them can just sit in one position, primarily if you're doing yoga, for hours on end, and it just takes I don't know, almost like a level of separation that you can kind of disregard those pains, annoyances that you're experiencing, and just kind of center yourself.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I think for me in particular was, you know, most of the martial arts I was learning was from Asian practitioners when I was young. So I was very lucky for that. And I was very interested in Qigong and Taoism, along the internal arts of Kung Fu,
Hmm.
along with the external arts. And I started to notice as a young person that the more physically fit I was, the easier it was to meditate, the easier it was to tolerate frustrations. And so, as opposed to trying to transcend the body, Kung Fu and martial arts told me that actually, in many ways, I need to be sure I'm harmonizing with the body. And then once I harmonize with the body, then I'm harmonizing with the elements, I'm harmonizing with my emotions.
Right.
And then, so when I got old enough to really kind of get to the occult and Gnostic studies, that was already there. And I'm very grateful for that.